Hello everyone, welcome to Dada's FoodCrave kitchen featuring cooking, beauty, lifestyle and more. In this recipe, I'll be showing you how to make the most delicious chicken pie without having to worry about using your oven. This is a great method that can be used in college dorms, small apartment space, even if you have a big house, you don't want to go through the hassle in using your oven. You can use this method without using your oven, and it's also so healthy, so easy and so simple to make. If you are interested in seeing how I make this delicious chicken pie without using your oven, please stay tuned. And if you are new to my channel and you like what you see, this is the first time you are tuning in, hit that subscribe button and your notification bell because you'll be the first to be notified whenever I upload a video. So without any further ado, let's get cooking. So to make my chicken pie, first I am going to now get the dough ready, but I am using Carnation milk. Feel free to use water, but your water should be very ice cold. Your water should be ice cold. Feel free to use water or whole milk, but I'm using Carnation milk in this recipe. Next, I am going to use all-purpose flour. In this bowl, I have 5 cups of all-purpose flour. I am going to use 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, I am going to mix the dry ingredients until it's well incorporated. Then I am going to use 2.5 sticks of butter. So the butter should be really ice cold as well. The butter should not be in room temperature. It should be very ice cold. You can use a knife to scrape the butter out, but it's gonna take you a long time. So instead, I am going to use my grater and grate the butter. If you don't have a grater, you could just simply cut the butter into little tiny pieces. So after the butter is all grated up, this is how it looks like. So now I am going to add the butter into the flour mixture. Now don't be afraid to get your hands really dirty. As long as your hands are clean, dig in there and start mixing the flour. But you don't want to overwork the flour because then you will not have any good crust when the chicken pie is ready. So now I am going to now add the milk gradually, little by little. I cannot tell you how much milk I'm adding into this recipe, but you want to keep adding water or milk until you reach that perfect consistency. Like I said again, do not overwork your dough. But I use 1 can of the Carnation milk and a little bit more. I went ahead and opened another can and used just a tiny bit. I would say 1 can of Carnation milk and maybe like 2 tablespoons of the Carnation milk. So you want to mix the dough, work it up in your work surface, and then now you're going to roll the dough and wrap it and keep it in the fridge. Obviously it needs to be ice cold, so while you're doing the other step of the meat pie. So now I'm gonna put it in the fridge and let it cool because you don't want it to be warm. So here I'm using chicken breast to make the chicken pie. I have here Norr seasoned cube. You can use any cube you have. Some thyme, black pepper, and salt to taste. Then I'm also going to use some carrot in this recipe and some diced potatoes. Then you're also going to need 2 tablespoons of flour to thicken the sauce. Later on you will see in the video. First, I am going to add the chicken in a pot and just cook it without any seasoning, just to make sure the chicken is cooked. After a couple minutes, the chicken's been cooked. So now I am going to take the chicken out. So I put the chicken in my food processor and just shred it. If you don't have a food processor or a blender, just simply take a fork and just use a fork or your hand to shred the chicken. So in a hot pot, I am going to add a little bit of oil. You don't need a lot, just a little bit of oil. Depending on how much chicken pie you're making. So then I am going to now add my onions, chopped onions. Then I'm going to throw in some garlic. I know I didn't show you guys earlier in the beginning of the video. I forgot to show you guys. It's optional if you don't want to add garlic, but garlic will give it a great taste. Give the chicken pie a great taste. Then I went ahead and add my scallions, chopped scallions, green onions, and my habanero pepper, which is optional. Then I added my Norr seasoned cube and salt to taste. Then I also added some black pepper and my thyme. Now you're going to mix all the ingredients until they're a little bit translucent. Then you're going to add your carrots and your diced potatoes. Feel free to add a little bit of curry in this recipe. It's optional. You don't have to add curry. But if you want to add a little bit of curry in this recipe to give it a little color, go ahead and do so. But I did not. So now I am going to add my shredded chicken, like so. Depending on the size you're making, and obviously I am going to add a little bit of water into the pot, just so my carrot and my potato will be cooked. You don't want to add too much water. You just want to add enough water, not too much, just so, like I said, your carrot and your potato will be cooked at the same time. Add seasoning to your own taste. If you needed more salt or more seasoned cube, go ahead and do so. Now I'm gonna let that cook. A couple minutes later, I came back to check on the filling, and now it's cooked. The potatoes and the carrots are done. So I went ahead and mixed my 2 tablespoons of flour with a little bit of water to add in the chicken so that it will thicken the sauce a little bit. I know it looks like it's not thick, or the sauce is a little bit chicken, it's a little bit too runny like, but trust me, when it's cold, it is going to form up and dry up really good, because you don't want the chicken to be really dry. So this is how the chicken looks like after it was cooked and cooled down a little. You want to make sure it's completely cold before you start the rest of the chicken pie. So now this is the dough that I kept in the fridge for over 2 hours while I was preparing the other ingredients. I know it looks hard, but yeah, it's supposed to be cold. It's not supposed to be warm. It's supposed to be cold, because then you will have a great crust on the pie. So you're going to divide it into 2 like so, and wrap the other half. And I have a little bit of ice cube on the side. If you don't have ice cube, you could just wrap it and keep it in the fridge while you're preparing the half of the other dough. But I have ice cube on the side, so I just put it close to me with the ice cube so that it will keep the dough cold. So now you're going to flour your work surface, and now you're going to knead the dough a little bit because it's a little firm from being in the fridge. So I'm going to work it a little bit, not too much, and then I'm going to use my rolling pin and roll the dough. So after you roll the dough until it's all flattened like so, you're going to use your dough cutter, whatever cutter you have. You can make it any size you want. I'm using this dough cutter here. So you're going to repeat the same steps, keep cutting it like so, depending on how much you decide to make. You don't have to make it as big as I'm making it. Like I said, it depends on the dough cutter that you have at home. So the dough is a little bit too thick for me, so I just use the rolling pin to just kind of like thin it up a little bit. You don't want it too thin, you don't want it too thick, because you want it to be fairly in the middle so that it will be cooked thoroughly. So now I am going to add the filling, the chicken filling, into the dough, in the center of the dough. And now it's up to you if you want to put any egg wash around the dough or water around the dough to seal it. And then I am going to seal it with my finger and then use a fork to completely seal it from the front and turn it around and give me that security to make sure it is completely sealed. I turn it around and seal the back as well. So you're going to repeat the same steps until you are finished. This recipe, I'm telling you guys, it is so delicious. The chicken filling was so moist. It goes well with the dough. It wasn't dry at all. This is a must-try recipe, guys. It's a must-try, and if you do try it, you will actually love it, and I will recommend you try it. It's healthy. You don't have to fry it. You can bake it in an oven, like I said. If you don't have an oven at home, like I said, it's great for college dorms. It's great for people who live in a small apartment space, or just simply don't want to go through the hassle of using your big oven and all that stuff. You could just simply just do this and get it over with. So what I'm doing here, I have a pizza pan. Actually, you could use any pizza pan you have. I'm using the disposal pizza pan. It's a 10-inch, or you can use a 10-inch pizza pan depending on how big your pot is, or you can use a 9.5 inches of pizza pan. So once the dough is all ready, I am going to now use a fork to decorate the top of the dough. And now what I'm doing here, I'm just using some egg wash to give it that glitter look on, just simply to give it that glitter look, that shiny look on the pie. So beforehand, I was preheating my pot for 15 minutes. So you want to use a plain pot. Yes, this is going to be made on a stovetop. And then you're going to add some salt, and then you're going to use that steam tray right there. You can go online and check it out. Just type in steam tray and you will be able to get one like that, but it needs to be elevated like so. And then you put the pie into the pot, like so. This was 30 minutes into me cooking the chicken pie without opening it. This is how it looks like. It's not quite ready. I'm gonna cover the pot and continue baking it. So this was an additional 30 minutes after, so a total of 60 minutes, which is total 1 hour. So after 1 hour, this is how the chicken pie looks like. Isn't that delicious and isn't that simple to make? Like I said, this is great for college dorms and small apartments, or even a large big house. You can just do this on your stove top. You don't have to worry about, you know, frying it. It's also so healthy. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you are new to my channel and you like what you see, share this video, bring people in, your family and friends. Let's grow this family. And I have yummy recipes coming your way. And hit that notification bell if you haven't done so. And I greatly appreciate all my old and new subscribers for constantly watching my video. So this is how the finished looks like. It's all ready. So now what you want to do, you're going to remove it gently and very safely out of the pot and cool it down on a cooling rack until it's completely cold, because the inside is very hot. So it has to be completely cold before you start enjoying your meat pie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, new upload every Saturday. I am thinking of doing uploads twice a week. Leave your comment down below and let me know what you guys think, or if every Saturday is just good for you guys. So I'll see you guys in my next video, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.